Hey guys, hope everyone's well. Well, this is a continuation of the butcher knife build and we're getting on to heat treating in this. There's a token I'm putting in of the core steel, the white paper steel. I'm going to heat treat that alongside the knife. So the oven is at 800 degrees now. It's been there for about 10 minutes fixed and stable, and the knives have gone in, and as soon as they get up to temperature I am then going to cook them for about 10 minutes. I'll do a token, then I know what the centre steel's going to be. As I said before, I'm aiming for about 63 HRC when this is at its final tempering. I expect it to come out of heat treat at around 67, 68, we'll see. That's where it should be. Bring you back for the quench. Temperature's held beautifully right the way through. Oil's perfect temperature. Let's get this humongous butcher's knife into the oil. I'm going to put it in the quench plates now. Just see if I can keep it straight. Let's do the token. Oven's still at the right temperature. Let's have a look at this, eh? 65, 66, 67 right at the tip. Ooh, shatter! Yeah, she picked up a warp. Can you see that? Let me see. There, a couple of millimetres right on the tip there. But it's based, it's centred about there where my hand is. You see it? Might see it there. It's not too bad. We'll pull that out in tempering. Well, I've had 4 hours of tempering, probably, no, 5 hours of tempering actually, to bring this white core steel and try and get it down to 63 HRC. And I think, well, I hope I should be there with this one. I just don't know. It's funny steel, this. It's very tetchy trying to heat treat the stuff, you know. It's even tetchy trying to temper it. 61, 62, 63.5. I am going with that. That will do. Absolutely fantastic. And I've been hammering that into a piece of seasoned oak. Just chipping away with the hammer at it. It's not lost any sharpness. It's still, there's not a ripple on that edge, and it's still just as shaving sharp as when I sharpened it before. I'm here on my surface table. It took a while to get the bend out that blade, but you can see that we're absolutely there on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark the centre of the blade now, and I can get on to doing the grinding on this. It's my centre line. Down the knife. I'm going to go and grind that off, guys. I've just had a phone call from the boucher. I told him I was going to do a full flat on this, take a lot of the weight out, so it's kind of more of a thin cutting blade, but he doesn't want that now. He's decided he wants me to leave the weight in. He likes the way it feels. So I'm going to go halfway into the blade now with the grind. That's what he wants me to do. It'd be more of an acute angle. It'll be a stronger edge. Here we go. Let the fun and games commence. 120 grit. I will see you a few grits down the road. So when you put your knife in the acid, make sure you're putting your knife in the right acid, because when you think you're putting the knife in the weak acid and you leave it there for 30 minutes and you come back and it looks like a bunch of wire wool, then you know you've put your knife in the wrong acid. So you then get the pleasure of regrinding the bevels and redoing the flats. Something I had to do, guys, because my my edge steel or my core steel is at 63.5 HRC. The jacketed Damascus was at 64 HRC. If I temper this blade down to reduce the hardness of the Damascus, I will ruin the toughness of my core steel. It's just one of those things. The tempering temperature of the core steel is an awful lot lower than the tempering temperature of the Damascus, the 1095 and the 15N20. So the only way I can reduce the hardness of this blade was to blue back the spine, which will run the heat down almost to the bevel. So at the edge of the bevel, I reckon the steel there, the Damascus there, will probably be around 59 to 60. The jacket should be about 55. The jacket is 55. That's absolutely perfect. I'm going to do a little test on the jacket there. Just there, because that's where I'll put the logo. So let's have a look. 52. Beautiful. So I haven't affected my core steel at all. That is still at 63.5. I'm 62. Sorry, I'm in the 50s above my grind line. So the heat treating is exactly where I want it. 63.5 on the edge, in the 50s along the spine, right down to the grind line on the bevel. I have been to the butcher's this morning and he's tried out the knife. Absolutely loves the grind exactly where it is, but the edge is absolutely surgical on this. We've had a change of handle since this morning as well, so now we're still having the brass on, and we're going for a spalted beech handle now instead, stabilised spalted beech. So the guard, I'm going to go like that, so the brass guard will be coming down there. And that'll be the guard, which I think will look quite cool. So that's how it'll look on the knife. I'm not totally convinced with these yet. Nah, that's history. I definitely like that guard better. That brass guard, or bolster, whatever you want to call it. Another change of plan is to now use these spalted beech scales for the knife. So finally I'm at the finishing stages. I've just ground these to fit the fronts, and I'm going to get these drilled now, get this epoxied on, then we can get this shaped and finished. Hole edge cutting. Let's bring you in. There it is, our ladder pattern Damascus, 400 layer, 800 layers if you count that side, so there's 400 each side of that core. There's the white paper steel core. The edge is just amazingly sharp on this. It's got a lovely kind of ripply chatoyance look to it, the blade. I've not really deep etched it. I've done a very, very weak acid etch to kind of just blacken off the 1095 and not really affect the nickel. You know, the first acid I put it into, it was the stronger mixture. I just got them mixed up, so I etched too deep and I messed up the nickel. Had to redo the flats and regrind the bevels, but we're there now. Both sides pretty much the same. See that chatoyancy? Better from that side, and the sunlight maybe just catch it. Yeah, so I didn't etch deep because I wanted to keep the finish as smooth as possible. So we've literally just got a very, very light etch on the 1095. You've just got to watch this edge, you really have. It is scary. The handle, which is the spalted beech that he wanted, I did reduce that that kind of finger choiled down quite a bit. He's quite happy with where it is there. I'll clean the spine up so it's a clean handle. This spalted beech is resin stabilized, so it's kind of a piece of plastic really. It's come out beautiful, it really has. So that's the butcher's knife done. I made this kind of wooden scabbard to keep it in because it will really protect it, that, rather than a leather sheath, you know. It's just held in place by a piece of leather on the front that kind of pulls the front in a little bit, and look, because the leather moves, it allows, when you put the knife in, it allows the wood to grip the blade, and it locks the whole thing in place. But as a special bonus, we're going off to the butcher's now, and we're going to just do a quick video of him cutting up some joints or some bits of meat. I don't know what he's going to cut up, but he said, yeah, bring it down the shop and we'll see how it performs. So let's go there. So what do you think, Gav?
Well, I'll show you. Compared to that,
hang on.
I'll show you exactly what I think. It's just the knife's doing the work, you know. I mean, you like this thing, you know. It's like you've got to put. You cannot, you know. There's no comparison, right? I mean, you've got a nice weighty knife there, and it's absolutely awesome. It's a pleasure to cut with. It's brilliant. I mean, yeah, it's
clean, isn't it? Cut, clean cut.
That one cut. Yeah, it's lovely. It really is nice. Brilliant.
Cool.
Got a bit of brisket. So we're going to cut a little bit of brisket up for stew.
Stew and brisket.
Yeah. So.
Oh, look at that.
Doesn't really need much pressure there, does it? Awesome, isn't it? A little bit of stew. There's no effort at all. I mean, this is supposed to be Swiss steel, you know, and it's, look, and I'm struggling with that.
It's not cutting clean though, is it?
Not at all.
It's more tearing through it, isn't
it? No, yeah. I mean, because it's so weighty, the knife's doing all the work, you know, and it's just so nice to use.
Them faces are just smooth, aren't they? Shining.
Yeah.
It's shining, it's cut so clean.
It is. It's like all them will want to work with this.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
I am.
Have you heard them? I am.
You can have a go. If you can't see. Oh, you can sleep that on. Cheers.
Have a go with that, Craig.
Says what you think, Craig?
Good that, innit? Good weight as well, isn't it? Don't have to put any pressure on it at all, do you?
You want to start making knives.
Nice that.
Nice, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Yeah, just the job, lads. Brilliant.
Cool.
Yeah, that was. I don't mind cutting stew in your knives, actually. You don't want to miss. I quite value
Don't miss.
I quite value your
Don't want a bit of
fingers.
finger stew in there.
No, we don't want to do that. It is, it's just
Well, that was some process, mate.
remarkable. Yeah,
Half the time as well.
half the time. Just because the knife does the work, you see, so
Yeah.
you know, it's half the time to do the job.
So, will it cut?
It will cut. Yeah, it will cut. As you've seen, and one of the toughest things to cut is belly pork, so I'll go and get a piece of belly pork. Right, okay. Yeah, belly pork, it's one of the toughest things to cut because of the rind on it and that. It resembles, like, it's the closest thing to human, sort of, that's why they use it on forged in fire and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, this knife here, you'd be struggling to get through that. And whoever's knife that is, it's awful. But this, it's like, you know, and the rind, it just cuts straight through the rind. I'll just show you, I don't know whose knife that is, but it's not mine. But that won't even touch it. It's not even marked it. Now that one, that's how sharp that is. It's just, like I say, it's a pleasure to use, but like I say, it's belly pork. It's very similar to human flesh. So, not that I'm going to be cutting human flesh. But yeah, it's a lot of butchers, they don't like cutting the belly cut because it's so difficult to cut, like, you know, but not with one of them. I think everyone should have one of them. Yeah, brilliant. Thanks again, mate. Every butcher should have one of them.
I just realised I'll have to do sign out now because when we take this to the butcher's, I'm just going to leave it with him. Yeah, I've enjoyed building it though, I really have, and I do really like this knife. At first when I started building it and he told me how big it was, I just thought it's utterly ridiculous that for a knife. But then when you watch him working and you watch what he uses it for, 8 hours a day, you totally understand why it has to be that sort of size, that sort of thickness, that sort of weight, and have an edge like that. So yeah, so I have actually loved building this knife. It's totally different from my normal, like, run-of-the-mill stuff, and there's been a lot of interest in it. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Hit that like button, it helps my channel out. Thank you to my patrons for the continued support, and for my patrons I'm going to be doing a little giveaway shortly, so I'm going to make up a few items. I'm going to do a draw. I'll do a video on that on my Patreon channel, so, and then I'm just going to send these out to the guys who can kind of win the prizes if they want them. So that'll be in the next couple of weeks as well. I'll be doing that. So it's onward and upward onto the next build now. Coming shortly will possibly be some aerial footage, yawn, but something I noticed a couple of weeks ago with my motorcycle, which just explained everything that's been at fault with it recently. So I'm going to do a video on that and I'll show you, and I'll maybe get out on the bike finally and get some footage, and now the weather's bucking up a little bit, and so I'll see you on that one quite soon. Alright guys, take care, see you soon, bye for now.